Yeah, one of the biggest storylines in the NBA's free agency is what will the Lakers do with Dennis Schroder? He could easily end up elsewhere. Keep in mind the Chicago Bulls are a team that has their eyes on Dennis Schroder or Lonzo Ball. Also, the New York Knicks got a lot of cap room. If they miss out on a guy like Chris Paul, if he opts to stay with Phoenix, could they be into the market of Dennis Schroder and pair him up with Julius Randle? We shall see. You know, Dennis did turn down a 4-year, $84 million offer from the Los Angeles Lakers midseason. I thought that was a mistake on both parts. I thought the Lakers were giving that man entirely too much money, and I thought Schroder was a fool to turn down that type of money because I watched every Los Angeles Laker game. I knew for a fact, I'm not saying Dennis Schroder is not a starting point guard in this league somewhere. I think there is a team out there where Schroder can be a starting point guard, but he is not the starting point guard that the Lakers need. The Lakers would be better off going out and getting Rajon Rondo back in that system for the cheap. Schroder and Anthony Davis do not mix well. I'm telling you, if you watch the games, it's clear as day. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. Schroder does not give AD easy looks. Now, to be fair to Schroder, hopefully with a full training camp, get some time to gel with AD, who, by the way, AD wasn't the best version of himself last year. He came in the camp out of shape. He came into that Lakers season trying to work himself into shape midseason, and it didn't work out. His season ended to injuries. He had a bunch of them. Give them time. Schroder had COVID towards the latter part of the season as well. He missed some time going into the postseason. Look, here's the thing. The Lakers and Dennis Schroder are both kind of stuck with each other. If Dennis Schroder opts to leave L.A., the Lakers don't get whatever salary that they were going to have and give to Schroder, right? They don't get that for another free agent. That's not how this works. They own Schroder's bird rights, which means they're able to sign their own guys and go into that luxury tax situation even more. So you don't get if you offer Schroder 4 years, $90 million, you don't get that money in cap room to go sign Chris Paul. That's not how this thing works. You know, if you lose Schroder, for the most part, you can't go get him back. Now, there is the scenario that we talked about on the platform yesterday. That's why you want to make sure you subscribe to the platform. The Lakers could do a double sign and trade, meaning if it's Phoenix, the Lakers could essentially sign Schroder, and if, you know, Schroder wants to be a Sun, and if Chris Paul wants to be a Laker, and both the Lakers and Suns sign off on this, which I doubt this would ever happen, there could be a double sign and trade. Phoenix signs their guy, Lakers sign their guy, and then they do a trade like that. That could theoretically happen with any free agent out there, right? Or, you know, whatever the trade is. The Lakers could do a sign and trade depending on where Schroder lands, but that is unrealistic. A lot of paperwork goes into those double sign and trades that, to me, just make it borderline impossible to do at this point in the game. So I do not believe Schroder can afford to leave LA, and I don't believe the Lakers can afford to lose Schroder right now. If you want me to be real with you, both of these camps are kind of tied to each other and stuck with each other per se, because there ain't too much better out there. We'll see what the Bulls offer lands with Dennis Schroder in the upcoming days. The Lakers look at Schroder as a guy that's more of a six man than a starting point guard, but if they're going to pay him starting point guard money, he's going to have to start. So that's where we're at with it. Again, Dennis Schroder is a free agent to be. We will see where he lands. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if he comes to some sort of an agreement with the Lakers. If the Lakers strike out on some of their other options that they have, bigger name fishes that they're shopping for. You know, we talk about the Russell Westbrooks, the Chris Pauls, and even the Kyle Lowrys of the world. All right? I'm out.